other question I want to look at here is the general journal question, again in the higher level, short questions. And there's a very simple tactic that you can use here. We're looking here at the 2011 question. You're generally given one entry at the top, and then you're given another few entries then where you must fill in your information then and establish then your assets, liabilities and share capital on this date. Now, the general rule that I apply is pretty simple. Is if you just think about it, debit side, or debit column, credit column, assets and liabilities. If you think about it, it's even the way that you would say those two words. You wouldn't say liabilities and assets, you would always say assets and liabilities. So if you were just even to write that in on top of the general journal, it would help you then to work out where each of these entries should go. So I've just done that, assets and liabilities. And if you go up here and look at these three entries, you should be able to work out which are assets and which are liabilities. If you think about it, premises, well obviously that's fixed assets, the assets of the business. Creditors, well they're people that have given you money or to whom you owe money, so that's a liability. And considering then, okay, that both of these have to balance down below, you could even guess the third one, which is of course also a liability and goes in on the credit column. So I'm just going to fill those three in down below and then balance the general journal. I've just done that now. If you think about it there, premises, assets, and then creditors, liability, ordinary share capital, liability, and then just add them up and balance them. Just got the 2010 question here. Same rule applies. Assets, liabilities, and if you look up here, you should be able to work out then which are assets and which are liabilities. So debtors, people that owe you money, that'd be an asset. Bank overdraft, that'd be a liability, and then the ordinary share capital, also a liability, and bearing in mind then that both figures then should balance at the bottom. I've just written in assets and liabilities again. Of course there's no need to do that in the exam, it's just as an aid to help you remember. So the debtors there, entered on the debit column as an asset, bank overdraft, ordinary share capital, liabilities, balance there, 659,000. Just one more, looking at the 2009 question, you'll notice here there are just two entries here, and yet there are three entries down here. So this figure, of course, is not given to us. It's very easy to work that one out. If you just again abide by assets and liabilities on the top here, and then just fill in the entries in the appropriate spot. So here they're filled in down below. The premises there, of course, an asset, and the other two are liabilities. So this was the figure that we weren't given in the question. Now to find that, you simply add up the two assets, gives you a balance of 287,000. Take the 21 away from it, and whatever's left must be then the ordinary share capital if the two are to balance. So you've 287,000 minus 21,000, 266,000, and then it balances, of course, at 287,000.